Alright folks, we've got the skid steer taken apart. Been having some issues with vibration, and it got to where I could only run it, down at low RPMs, and it's been that way for a long time, and it's gotten worse and worse. So I was afraid it was going to fall apart. So I actually found some issues that probably was issues that it's had for a long time that I should have fixed a long time ago and didn't do it. You can see how much it's wore into them bolt holes and broke that one out. But what had happened is these set screws and this center bolt in here had come loose, and it let this thing wobble around. Now the gearbox is in really good shape, no problems in there. Hydraulic pump runs on this side, but we had a problem with this being loose. So what I've done is I've tightened it up to check it, and it's going to be fine. But what I need to do now is take it back apart and Loctite everything. And we're going to red Loctite it so it don't move. Weld that bottom up there, and once we get that welded up, we can start getting the gearbox and stuff back in it. And cleaned it up real good with pressure washer. Vic did, and we're trying to replace a few things that needs fixed, and besides the broken stuff, and we'll move on from there. Okay folks, here's where we're at. Got most of the boards on. This side got the beams in, the 3x6s, and when I was talking about cutting these ends off, I wasn't talking about cutting them off at the building. I was talking about cutting them at an angle like they are, instead of leaving them sticking down. And got all the boards up. We're finishing up this side, and then go get tar paper on it, or felt paper, and then we're going to go to the other side. That's what we're doing now. Paper, my last two boards, some of our shingles. This is the bed off of the Ford Super Duty F450 rollback. The bed is taken off of the four-door top kick. As you can see, this truck's been sitting as dirty as can be. I'm going to fix a few things on this truck that I don't like, and then we're going to go back to using it. Go back to using it. I used it some, I just never liked it. Link air rod. I'd prefer to throw that crap in the trash, but what I'm going to do is we're going to do away with the leveling valves on each side and put one in the center. This thing's too bad about tilting one way or tilting the other way. We're going to do away with my dump valves I put on it, because this thing don't dump low enough to make a difference. Not like the air ride on my International with the U-Haul truck. It would drop 6 inches at the back of the bed. This thing would drop about 2, so really no use having it. The other thing, fuel tank. We've got an original fuel tank to put back on this. This thing had a fuel tank under the back end, and I had to move it because you couldn't put the rollback bed on it with a wheel lift. So I used the HD 3500 tank right here, and I could not run a gas gauge, and also this tank's small. So I've got an original tank to go back. It's actually a saddle tank that goes here. It was on one of them parts trucks I bought. So we're going to change the tank out. It actually moves the tank back farther and uses actually this cross member here, and then goes up. So that's one of the things that we're doing. And I've got a few things I want to do to the truck itself. I put all new tires on it, but I was having a tire bounce and I could not figure it out, and I finally swapped tires around until it's this tire right here. As you can see, I've got them are aluminum rims, and you see how dirty it is. That's because that was on the front. I finally got somebody to drive the truck, and I drove down the road beside it on the highway, 4-lane, and I watched it, and finally seen the tire was bouncing on this side. I couldn't pinpoint it because it just the way that it acted. So once I seen that, I pulled the tire off the back here, put it on the front, and realized that this tire is shot. So we'll be changing that out. As you can see, somebody had reinforced this years ago. I didn't do that. They've done a pretty good job. I mean, they look like they overkilled it, about like I would have. The reason that was done, the reason that it was broke, not the reason that it was done, is because the boy that had this tilt frame and bed, aluminum bed, on that 3500 HD could not haul a dually truck or like a box truck, which I wouldn't haul a box truck on it anyway, but he couldn't do that because of the width of the bed. It was too narrow and it had sides on it. So what he done was put them on the wheel lift. Well, you know, your pivot point is there, your wheel lift's there, and then by the time you extend it out, you've got way too much weight, and it was pulling down on the back of this and broke it. And because you've got a bed that's locked, and he actually broke this, then he went back to using it, and then he ended up breaking the frame on the truck. So bending it and breaking it, and that's the reason that he quit using it. But I mean, overloading and overworking is what done it. I mean, he asked for it and he got it. So anyway, I think everything will work out fine on that. We don't have to do much work on the bed. Now we put the other headache bar off of this one on the other truck, and I put my headache bar, of course, on this truck to do a little bit of work to get them on there. Not much. This is the headache bar I built just for that truck. It's in really good shape. We'll probably paint it or something. It's been rhino lined on the sides, and anyway, so besides that, I don't think we've got to do any work to it. It's a, you know, good bed. So we'll be 6 inches wider, almost 6 inches wider, and we'll be a steel bed, and it'll just make a better truck. You know, that truck needed it, and the other truck really didn't need it. So the other truck, I finished it up yesterday, so now we'll get back to work on this, and of course we're working on the building. I added a few things to my collection here. It's actually a railroader made by the Richmond Stove Company, Richmond, Virginia. You can see it's a 16RR, and it actually says number 16 railroader at the bottom. So this may either have been a caboose or for a boxcar to keep stuff from freezing. Either way, it would have been bolted down, and that's how they would have used it. Picked up a kind of an oddball bumper jack, style of bumper jack. I think it's for pulling fence also. And some people have seen this. I guess I need to put some money in there. So I got this and I figured, well, we'll set it here and people put money in and make a little change. But when I realized that it only takes, dimes is the biggest thing it takes, and you get 2 hours for a dime, it's just not going to give us much time. There's a nickel for an hour. Alright folks, motorcycle is set up, and Graydon has played on it, and I've been on it. Wife's been on it. I think everybody around here has been on it at least once. Okay, here's where we are on the building as of right now. We've actually got this end, well, I don't know if you can see it, we've got tar paper up there, felt paper, and waiting on nails. Had to order copper nails for these slate tiles, so when they get in we can start putting them on. And then I've got everything cut, all the wood cut I needed for this side, which is the other beams. I'm going to move our walkboard over to this side and then get to work on it. But it turned out really nice. I like the inside. We got some really nice boards up there, 16-inch wide or so. And let me wipe the lens off on this camera. I don't know if it's any better. I don't know. I've seen little spots on the camera, but a lot of times it's from the light. Anyway, so this is going to look really good up in there. And I've got more plates to touch this right there. Now all this was cut with a chainsaw, you know, except of course the end of our 1-inch boards. But I mean, all this stuff here is cut with a chainsaw. So it's not exactly perfect. It's close, but I mean, probably could have done a little better job if I'd have had a little better tools to work with. But you know, as careful as we could be, and got the, you know, all the seams as close as we could get them, and they don't look too bad. Not for a saw, I guess. But Anyway, that's done, and I'll show you another project we've got to do. Okay folks, so I bought a couple engines up in the northern part of Ohio that I'm going to have to pick up, and I need a trailer to haul them. And this is a gooseneck trailer, homemade, 13 foot long. Can you believe that? It had 3 axles under it originally. One of them's out, one of them's bad, one of them's okay. They held, my understanding, being only 13 foot long, they hauled a big water tank on it, or had a couple big water tanks on it. So anyway, here's the plan. I'm going to pick up 2 brand new 7,000 pound electric axles. We're going to take this 3/16 plate off of it. We're going to cut these 4-inch channels off the side and put 6-inch channel on to raise the side up 2 inches for my boards. And we're going to stretch it 7 feet. So we're going to actually make it into a 20-foot gooseneck. And the I-beams under it, it's got 8-inch I-beam. They're heavy. You know, there's no problem with the strength of it. Just that it's too short. And once we do that, we get our new axles mounted. I can buy the axles with them the right, center for what this is. It's 63 inches from center to center on the I-beam. So they've got them readily available. We can get them on, and then where we need them, and then I've got 8 lug rims, and then we'll put 4 new tires on it. Good heavy tires. There's a couple things I want to do. I want to go in here and maybe add a little bit of bracing here. Add a little bit between here and here, just a gusset. I mean, it's pretty good, but that needs to be done. The tongue needs to be fixed. This guy that had it actually had it set up to where you could, or he was setting it up where you could move it down and haul it on a ball, and then slide it back up and haul it in the back. So we're just going to make it where we can haul in the back, of course, and we're going to get everything straightened out on it so we can go to actually using this thing. So that's the plan. And like I said, I don't know how long it'll be, maybe a month or so, but we're gonna head up to the upper part of Ohio and pick these engines up and bring them back down. So anyway, this is we'll probably get it up there, flip it over with the crane, and we'll get to work on this thing. So this is not a big job. Shouldn't take a long time to knock this out and get her finished up. All right. Okay, so I've been wanting a bell for quite a while, and I finally found this bell. It's 24 inches across the bottom, so this is a big bell. It's got a piece broke off on the end right here, and I don't have the brackets for it. So we'll have to make some stuff for it to mount it, but and probably drill and pin this side. But I do have a wheel to put on it for the rope. But like I said, it's a big bell. It's hard to find a big one like this. These were considered school bells or church bells. Once you got over, I think, about a 10-inch diameter. Anything smaller than or 10 inches or smaller, I believe, was considered a farm bell. So see if we can ring it here. Works good. My grandson loves it, so we're going to get this set up. Possibly, maybe up in there. I don't know. We'll see. So, and I got a pretty good surprise coming up for our plans for our Harrisburg engine, and I'll show you that soon also. So we'll have this knocked out too here shortly. All right, folks. There you go. All the woodwork is done. We still got to cut off the beams at the end. Everything else is pretty much finished up. We have tar paper on it, and getting ready to do these slate shingles here soon. Thank goodness all the woodwork's done. It's taken a lot of time, a lot more time than I wanted, but it is what it is. Got a crow up there making noises, but anyway, if we can get in here, you can see the roof. Really pretty. So we ran out of felt paper. I've got a little bit more to do in the center, and then it'll be completely dried in, and then I can get this daggone cover off this engine. Sooner the better. And once it's off, start cleaning it up and working on it some. But building is done, all but, you know, I've got some more braces to make, the steel plates, and doing the shingles on top. And then I think we're gonna put some more 45s, like I did on the corners there and there. We'll put some more in there, which is not a problem. It's just not a one-man job. And so we'll wait for my son to help. So there you go. Get my mess cleaned up here, and get some gravel back around the bottom of this thing, make it look a little better. And we've got Nina here to check it out. So, all right, well, I haven't done a lot of videos. I've got to do a trailer here because I got to go to Ohio and pick up a couple of steam engines. And I bought a trailer. I don't know if I showed this video or not, but we've got to redo the trailer so we can go up and pick them up. But anyway, I'll do some videos on that, and we'll see if we can get some more videos out, because I know I've been pretty slack here, but been doing a lot of work and just not filming much. So, all right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.